I'm Eric Boss, and this is a breakdown of the Stranger Things Season 5 trailer. We're diving into this shot by shot, pointing out all the details, references, and big clues you might have missed. And we've got a lot to talk about regarding this final season, and its 3 episodes coming over the holidays. Quick shout out, if you want to celebrate the final season in a fun and goofy way, check out our exclusive Vecna Puffs shirt over at Nerdite Shop. Trust me, you want a bowl full of these. It's a great gift for the holidays, and by grabbing one, you're supporting new rock stars directly. Thanks so much! Opening scene breakdown. The trailer kicks off with Vecna's voice saying, "At long last we can begin." And honestly, at long last, no kidding, Vecna! We get a shot of the upside-down version of the Hawkins library, crackling with red lightning. This place was ground zero for the military quarantine that we saw in the Season 4 finale, with containment walls sealing it off. There's a clock tower here, with a time reading 1720, which feels important because clocks have been a recurring symbol, especially in relation to Vecna, since Season 4. Official synopsis recap. So, the fall of 1987 is when this all takes place. Hawkins is scarred by the opening of the rifts. Our heroes united by one goal: find and kill Vecna. But there's a problem: Vecna is gone. His whereabouts are unknown. And of course, the government has put Hawkins under military quarantine, hunting Eleven and forcing her back into hiding. As the anniversary of Will's disappearance approaches, so does that heavy, familiar dread. The final battle is on the horizon, and there's something darker and more deadly than they've faced before. The full party is needed, standing together for one final time. Vecna's power play. We see a Demogorgon bowing respectfully before getting the hell out of the way. This reminded me of the Xenomorphs in Aliens, where the warrior aliens back off when the queen is around. There's also a gnarly shot of Vecna's hand, his fingers clawing out like a creepy gunslinger. He's flexing his monster power. The music in the trailer is Queen's Who Wants to Live Forever from 1986. It's a ballad that questions immortality and embraces death, which seems like a perfect fit for this season. If you've seen the trailer, you know we're probably going to lose some beloved characters. The Hellfire Club. We get a shot of Dustin wearing his Hellfire Club D&D shirt in honor of Eddie, riding his bike to school. Later, we see him looking roughed up, maybe from some bullies or government agents. And yes, the military soldiers are out in full force, patrolling around the school, likely searching for Eleven. The idea that the kids still have to go to school amidst all the chaos in Hawkins is wild. Military quarantine zone. We return to the aerial shot of the Hawkins library, now surrounded by military walls. There are bunk beds visible, so we know there are kids being kept here. There's also a helicopter pad. It's obvious that the military is setting up shop in Hawkins, and it's not just the town that's under lockdown, it's also the upside down. Underground tunnels. We see some kind of carved out tunnel. This doesn't look like a natural rift. Someone definitely dug this. Is it an escape route from the quarantine zone? We don't know yet, but it seems too clean to be just a random formation. Then we see Jonathan, Nancy, Robin, and Steve pushing aside a shelf to reveal some secret underground hangout or safe house. Maybe the kids are gearing up for something big. D&D figures and strategy. We see the kids planning to find and kill Vecna, with Mike setting out D&D figurines on a map of Hawkins, labeling it the Day of Disaster. This could be a reference to the rifts opening at the end of Season 4. There's a blue van figure on the board, which matches the WSQ van Steve will be driving. This suggests the kids are trying to strategize using their D&D campaign as a blueprint for what's coming next. Eleven's powers on Hopper's return. Eleven is seen in the upside down, performing a gravity-defying leap. We've seen her training this ability before, but now it seems like she's using it more to navigate, not fight like Neo or Superman. In another shot, she and Hopper seem to be inside a facility. This might be a military base in the upside down, as the Duffers teased. The military is clearly trying to control and communicate with the upside down itself. This isn't like one of your campaigns. We hear Eleven telling Mike, "This isn't like one of your campaigns. You don't get to write the ending." Not this time. Mike's trying to think of this like one of their D&D games, but Eleven is reminding him this is real life, and they don't get to dictate the outcome. Max's condition in the hospital. There's a shot of Max still in her coma, with Nancy by her side in a hospital candy striper uniform. It looks like Nancy is going to be with Max throughout her recovery, possibly trying to wake her up from the coma with that running up that hill trick. Final battle teased towards the end. We see Dustin and Steve in an emotional hug, which makes some people think Steve might sacrifice himself. There's also a lot of focus on Will, whose connection to Vecna is clearly coming to the forefront in this season. The upside down in the wall. There's a shot of Eleven pushing her hands out in a moment of intense focus. This leads into a massive energy burst from what looks like the Hawkins lab in the upside down. The burst spreads red and blue shockwaves across the land, rushing toward the horizon. Could Eleven be trying to destroy the upside down? The final war. There's a shot of Vecna looking more armored than before. Nancy is in full combat mode, firing an assault rifle across a courtyard. It looks like the final battle will be an all-out war between Demogorgons, soldiers, and the kids, all caught in the middle. Will's role in the final showdown. We get a glimpse of Will being lifted by Vecna, with a dark shadow creeping up his neck. It's unclear if it's part of the shadow that Vecna controls, but it's a chilling shot. Vecna says, "You are going to help me one last time?" suggesting that Will is finally going to play a central role in defeating Vecna once and for all. What happens next? So, is Will the key to stopping Vecna? And what does his role truly mean? We're going to see Will's backstory come full circle as we find out why he was taken in Season 1. Maybe it all ties back to that first night, and Vecna has been planning this from the very beginning. Episode titles for this season are coming in fast. Episode 4 is titled Sorcerer, a clear nod to Will the Wise, the wizard from their D&D games. Will this be the episode where everything comes to a head? We're in for a wild ride in Stranger Things Season 5 with new twists, new powers, and the final showdown that's been building up since Season 1. Let me know your theories in the comments! Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to Sin City Monster for supporting us at the executive producer level. Follow me at EA Boss, and don't forget to subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. As we dive deeper into this last season, there's so much to unpack, especially when we consider the bigger implications of everything that's going down. We know that the Upside Down is not just some random parallel universe. It's a place deeply tied to Hawkins, its history, and the very origins of Eleven's powers. The origin of the Upside Down, one theory that's been floating around the fandom, is that the Upside Down is a distorted version of Hawkins itself, one that's stuck in the moment in 1983 when Will was first taken. This could explain why everything in the Upside Down looks like it's frozen in time, the way Will's body looked, how the Demogorgons are trapped there, and how Vecna has so much influence over it. He's not just trying to take over Hawkins, he might be trying to control time itself, twisting it in his favor. This adds a whole new layer to the stakes of this final season. The influence of the Mind Flayer. Looking back at Season 2, we saw the Mind Flayer trying to break through to Hawkins, and in Season 3, we saw how its influence spread through the town like a disease. It's likely that Vecna was behind some of these events, subtly guiding the Mind Flayer and using it as his pawn. But now that Vecna's fully manifested, he's no longer hiding in the shadows. He's the one controlling everything. And he's not planning on just terrorizing Hawkins anymore. He's going to reshape reality as he sees fit. Will's connection to Vecna, a lot of attention is being given to Will's role in this final season, and rightly so. In Season 1, he was taken by the Demogorgon, and ever since, there's been a persistent connection between him and the Upside Down. Will might be the key to understanding why Vecna can control this world. Some believe Will's psychic connection with the Upside Down could actually be the result of his early interaction with the Mind Flayer. It changed him at a molecular level, and now, that connection is his greatest strength and his biggest curse. The idea that Vecna might be manipulating Will to help bring about the end of the world isn't far-fetched. If that happens, it's going to tear the group apart. Eleven's power growth. We've seen Eleven's powers evolve over the seasons, from basic telekinesis to mind-bending reality-altering abilities. She's struggled with controlling them, especially after losing them in Season 4. However, in this trailer, we can see that she's getting them back, perhaps stronger than before. The blue lightning effect in the teaser shows her fighting the Upside Down's corruption while trying to save Hawkins. Her journey is going to be crucial, and we know from her conversation with Mike that it's no longer just about fighting for herself. It's about fighting for all of them, and stopping Vecna at any cost. The big final battle. Teams and stakes. From what we've seen so far, it looks like this final season will feature everyone coming together. Steve, Dustin, Mike, Will, Eleven, even Nancy, and the rest of the gang, fighting side by side. The military will probably play a huge role too, possibly as antagonists who don't understand the threat they're dealing with. The final showdown could be in the real world, in the Upside Down, or both. One thing we know for sure, Hawkins is going to be ground zero for this battle. We've seen creatures from the Upside Down invading the real world, but as the rifts grow wider, it seems like we'll be fighting on both fronts. The stakes aren't just for the characters' lives, they're for the fate of the world itself. If Vecna wins, Hawkins might be just the beginning of the destruction. The final game plan. Let's talk about the plan. If the kids are going to beat Vecna, they'll have to learn how to navigate both the Upside Down and the real world, and use the knowledge they've gained from the past seasons. Dustin and Lucas will definitely provide the strategy. But let's not forget Mike. He's the heart of the group, and his connection to Eleven will be essential. Will, having lived through it all, might just hold the secret to defeating Vecna once and for all. And, of course, there's always Steve to pull off some unexpected heroics. With the Hellfire Club still in play, it's clear that Dungeons & Dragons is still their biggest source of guidance, and it will likely help them defeat the final boss. The emotional toll. Aside from the action-packed moments, Season 5 is going to take a serious emotional toll on our heroes. After everything they've been through, losing friends, family, and almost their own lives, this is the season where they'll need to confront their darkest fears. There will be sacrifices and heart-wrenching decisions, especially with characters like Steve, Max, and even Jim Hopper in the mix. Fans are already preparing for the emotional goodbye, but they'll also be looking for closure in these final episodes. Theories and what's to come. Here's a crazy theory for you. What if the Upside Down is not just a parallel dimension, but a reflection of the kids' minds? This could explain why each character's experience in the Upside Down has been so specific to their individual fears and memories. If Vecna is using the trauma of each character to manipulate them, then the final battle might involve confronting not only the literal monsters but also the demons within themselves. Another theory, the rifts that have been opening up throughout Hawkins are actually some form of time rifts, which could explain why everything feels stuck in 1983. Maybe Vecna isn't just trying to control Hawkins, maybe he's rewriting history. The end of Season 4 showed him moving his influence throughout multiple rifts, and we haven't seen anything like that before. Conclusion: the final countdown. The trailer has shown us glimpses of what's to come, but we know this is only the tip of the iceberg. As we head into the final season of Stranger Things, the question remains, will Hawkins survive? We know one thing for sure, the stakes have never been higher. The endgame is upon us, and we can't wait to see how it all unfolds. From new monsters to old friendships, Stranger Things Season 5 is going to be an unforgettable ride. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown. I'm Eric Boss, and if you want to stay up to date on everything happening in the world of Stranger Things, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave your theories in the comments below. We'll be back soon with more updates and breakdowns. Take care, everyone!